Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Peninsula of Paradise podcast, where Florida homeowners and future homeowners learn how to build wealth, peace of mind, and a better lifestyle through real estate and smart financial decisions. I'm your host, John Tanner, licensed real estate broker, former certified appraiser and mortgage professional with over 30 years of experience in the real estate and finance world. Today, we're tackling a topic that hits home for a lot of Floridians. Credit card debt. Maybe you've been using credit cards to cover your rising expenses due to the tariffs. Maybe it's because you had to make home repairs, or you're paying for travel sports for your kids, or just life's curveballs in general. With interest rates hovering around 25% or higher, those balances can feel like they're impossible to pay off. But here's the good news. If you own a home, there's a strategic, responsible way to break free from massive debt. Today's episode is called Debt Free in Paradise, Refinancing to Eliminate High Interest Credit Cards. We'll cover why so many homeowners are stuck in the debt cycle, how refinancing can help you reset your finances, the pros and cons of cash out refinances and home equity loans, and real world examples of families who used their homes to get debt free, and practical steps to know if this is the right move for you and your family. Let's start by being honest. Credit card debt can sneak up on anyone. It usually starts small. Maybe you put a few unexpected expenses on your cards, thinking that you'll pay them off next month, but then life happens. The car needs repairs, your insurance renewals hit and they went up drastically if you live here in Florida. Groceries costs are going up, and before you know it, you're juggling multiple balances on all your credit cards. The Federal Reserve recently reported that the average credit card APR is over 21%, and the average balance per household is around $7,500. That's a lot of debt. At that rate, you're only making minimum payments. If you're only making minimum payments, then you could be paying off your debts for decades. That's why refinancing with a purpose to eliminate high interest debt, be it credit cards or car payments, can be a game changer for you and your family. It's not just about lowering your monthly payments, it's about reclaiming control. So how does it work? A cash out refinance lets you replace your existing mortgage with a new one, ideally at a lower interest rate, and take out a portion of your home's equity in cash. You can then use that cash to pay off high interest debts once and for all. Here's an example. Let's say that your home is worth $450,000 and you owe $280,000 on your current mortgage. You might refinance for $350,000. That gives you $70,000 in cash before your closing costs to pay off your credit cards, personal loans, and even your car note. Suddenly, instead of paying 25% interest on those debts, you're now paying 7 or 8% interest in one manageable payment, the mortgage. But here's the key. This strategy only works if you stop using those credit cards after you pay them off. The goal is to replace bad debt with better structure, not restart the cycle all over again. Now, refinancing isn't your only tool. Let's talk about home equity loans and HELOCs, or a home equity line of credit. A home equity loan gives you a fixed lump sum like a traditional loan with a predictable payment schedule. It's great if you know exactly how much debt you want to pay off. A HELOC, or home equity line of credit, on the other hand, works more like a revolving line of credit. You can draw what you need when you need it, and you only pay interest on the balance that you use. In today's environment, many homeowners are opting for a hybrid approach. They use a cash out refinance to consolidate their major debt, and they keep a HELOC open for flexibility in case of emergencies or future opportunities. That's a strategy that I often recommend for clients who want both structure and flexibility. I want to share a quick anecdotal story about a family here in Florida. We'll call them the Riviera family. The Rivieras had about $48,000 in credit card and car loan debt. Between the high interest rates and rising insurance costs, they were barely breaking even each month. Let's suppose that we ran the numbers and found that they had over $200,000 in home equity. We're able to refinance their mortgage, rolling in their high interest credit card debt with an average interest rate of 25%, by the way, and their car payments with an interest rate of 14%, and cut their total payments down by $1,100 per month. Wouldn't having an extra $1,000 per month of discretionary income feel like you just won a small lottery? It would be for me. Even better, let's imagine that we were able to keep the Riviera family's mortgage term down to 20 years instead of a year term, meaning that they'll be debt-free faster and they're saving money long-term in the form of home equity buildup. That's what I mean when I say refinancing with purpose. It's not just a financial transaction. It's a reset button for your entire household's cash flow. Now, let's be real. Refinancing is not for everyone. Here are the pros. You can lower your interest rate dramatically, simplify your finances into one monthly payment, improve your cash flow and eliminate stress, by the way, and potentially improve your credit score by reducing your debt utilization. Now, here are the cons. You're moving unsecured debt into secured debt, meaning that your home is backing the loan. If you refinance into a longer term, you might pay more money in total interest because of compound interest over the length of time, over a long period. And the third thing is that closing costs can add up. So you want to make sure that your savings outweighs the expense of doing the HELOC or the refinance. So what's the best approach to deciding whether or not to refinance or to take out a HELOC? You always want to do a full financial review first. And by that, I mean you want to look at your credit score, your current loan balance, and how long you plan to stay in your home. You want to determine what loan costs are involved in both the refinance and the HELOC. And next, you want to do a compare and contrast. Compare the cost of the refinance with the cost of a HELOC and contrast the cost of doing either a refinance or a HELOC to the cost of doing nothing. Will you save money by doing the refinance rather than maintaining your high interest credit card debt and car payment debt? That analysis will help you determine whether a refinance makes sense or not. Now let's talk about timing, because timing does matter. If your mortgage interest rates are high, then you might want to hold off unless your credit card debt is really weighing you down. But if your current interest rate is already pretty decent and your equity has grown, then it might be worth refinancing, especially if it can clear out that double-digit debt, credit card debt, car payment debt. Typically, I advise clients to consider refinancing when they can drop at least 3 to 4% in interest across all of their total debts, or if consolidating creates a major improvement in your monthly cash flow. Because, like in the hypothetical case I just shared, having an extra $1,000 or $1,100 a month is substantial. If today's topic is hitting home for you, here's how you can get started. Number one, get a free home equity checkup. Find out how much your house is worth and how much equity you have in it by going to Zillow.com and seeing what your home is currently worth. Then you want to compare that to how much outstanding balance you have on your current mortgage. Number two, you want to review your credit and your current debts. Know your balances, your interest rates, and your monthly minimums. That way you can do an accurate assessment. You can go to freecreditreport.com to request a report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus to see what all your details are. Your outstanding balances is really important here. And then you want to run a refinance analysis and determine you can talk to someone who's a good financial management advisor that can show you your potential savings side by side if you feel like you can't do this on your own. And on a side note, I'd be happy to do that for you. And then number 4, you want to create a budget for life after debt. Because once you're out of it, you want to stay out of it. So having a personal financial plan is really important and valuable. All right, my friends, let's go ahead and land the plane because it's time to wrap things up. Being debt free in paradise isn't just a dream, it's a decision. Refinancing can be a powerful tool to simplify your life, relieve stress, and start building wealth again. That peace of mind comes from paying off high interest credit card debts and seeing your finances back in order. That's priceless. So, if you're ready to explore your options, I'd love to connect with you. You can visit me online at colemantanner.com or reach out to me in the comments here on the Peninsula of Paradise podcast. Comments below. Or you can also message me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, and I'd be happy to work with you. Together, we can build a plan to help you live debt-free in paradise. Until next time, I'm John Tanner, reminding you that paradise isn't just a place, it's a mindset. Take care. See you soon.